Dear Mother Mary, Mirror of Justice, today I told Mrs. Johnson that I was going to the rectory with hopes of meeting with Father Lang because I had questions about modernists and why I could not join the suffragettes. Mrs. Johnson looked at me with a pale face and collapsed on the davenport. I dashed over to her, moved piles of laundry around her, lifted up her feet. The laundry smelled bad, as if it were put away damp. It did rain yesterday, and while I was at the rectory, trying to get holy. When she exhaled, I ran to get her water. She drank it, nodded. She was coming back to us. The children were off color, too, frozen in spirit. I felt a cloud had cleared, as if I had come in after some yelling, or merely the look of a pregnant mother upon her unruly children, the look of someone who wanted her tight shoes to be banned for the remaining months of her term. If she could reach them, she might untie them. I said, untying her shoes, I need to do some errands. I am taking the children. Mrs. Johnson said nothing. Once the children were properly fitted, I pushed them out of the back of the house. I loaded some refreshments into a small wagon. We headed out of the gate, down the alley, and off to the fields. I said, we have not talked to the cows in a very long time. They want to know how Victor is coming along with his words and his thumb-sucking. The cows want to know if Victor has closed the door on that habit, or if he was only swinging on the gate at the thought of giving up his trusty friend. Victor, age 5, said, I don't want to talk to the cows. I want to go home. I didn't get enough time to play. I said, Victor, today your play is going to be outside. You play with the fields. I will find you something to reach for. It is up to you if you want it, though. It could be something in a tree, or it could be something on the ground. It will be something you can pick. Catherine, age 7, said it could be something under a cow's butt. From there, I knew the risk was high, that the remaining theme of the walk might be brown in color. I said, children, let us focus on what is green. There are other words to describe green. There is the word verdant, also fertile, leafy, grown, overgrown. Even you could stretch it to mean the word lush. Or you could describe money as if we were rich. Money has nothing to do with color, Catherine said. I asked, do you like it when the leaves are on the tree or on the ground? I want to go home, Victor said. I didn't get enough time to play. Catherine said, I like leaves on the trees when it's hot outside, and leaves on the ground when I want to hide something in them. I'm tired, Victor said. I handed the wagon pole to Catherine. I let Victor climb on my back, and she started to walk backwards. This slowed us down, but with Victor on my back, the pace was grace. Victor, I said, grab my hat and put it in the wagon. Soon we arrived as far as we could go, stopped by the barbed wire. I introduced them to the mulberry trees. Grab some berries, I said, but only the black ones. If you don't see white spots, then you know a bird didn't drop her business onto it, and then it is safe to eat. Catherine was smiling. I could not see Victor's face. I set him down in the wagon, where he stood up, balancing carefully. I pulled down a few branches with one hand, and with the other I held him steady by his suspenders at the crown of his shorts. Catherine said, oh, we need to take some home to Mother. She reached into the wagon for the basket. There she found the cookies and said, oh, is this being rich and green at the same time, Mrs. Kurtz? That's when I saw Catherine wipe her purple-stained fingers onto her white apron. I looked at Victor's fingers, which were also stained. I looked up, wanting justice, but the response for me was to love whiteness, to love Mrs. Johnson. As soon as we got home, I knew I would have to boil water to pour over the stains until they disappeared. I announced that we needed to get home. I started to turn for the march in that direction towards the laundry. The children protested.